Hello, this is I Seen You Before playing Dominions 4. One small difference with most of our Let's Plays is that for part 4, this episode, and part 5, I was speaking with a really low tone and my microphone didn't pick up most of what I said. So the actual live footage is jumbled together with the background music. So those two episodes are gonna be a bit different because I'm making a voice over. Well, without further ado, let's get straight into the game. Alright, so on the first turn, we'll be checking out the magic sites that we found. It seems that the special site I was talking about was not here. So soon enough we're going to be sending in new people to search this site. As we kept on going, we did an easy job of the barbarians in this battle thanks to the archers. The easy thing with the archers and those independents is that those barbarians and tribesmen, they don't have shields with them, so therefore they don't get the chance to parry the arrow attacks, and therefore it's very beneficial to have archers. As you can see through this battle, our forces quickly disposed of the enemy. During that time, Lanka itself is expanding with mercenaries. Mercenaries is a feature of Dominions 4. Personally, I avoid using mercenaries unless I'm playing multiplayer, because depending on your chance, you can get really good mercenaries like the knights with the flambeaux. I forgot the guy's name. Or really handy ones like the spearmen, which Lanka just used. It kind of fakes how the nation expands on its own in single player, so I avoid using them. Secondly, that Amazon province, I really wish I actually took it, but as you're gonna see as we keep on going throughout this Let's Play, this was unfortunately impossible for us to take over. So the next thing is that we'll be doing more research, trying to get a bit more self-buffs for our pretender to keep expanding and becoming a super commander, as buffs are pretty important in battles. We're gonna be sending our pretender straight to the Therodos province. Skeletal body, quicken self, and ice shield should be enough to take most of the independence right now. Also, while you are building a fortress, it's always important to put some defense in, because if you're not being careful or you're simply being unlucky, you could get for example, random event barbarians attack your province, and because you have just one commander building a fort there, he will most likely retreat, and you will lose all the money that you put into building that fort, because you will lose it to independence. Now we'll be sending this commander back home to grab more troops to boost our main army, and also we'll be recruiting a Dactyl and a few more curators, because they deal with most of the damage, and berserking means they won't easily retreat. Moreover, what I'm intending to do on this turn is to save some money for a laboratory and a temple, so that we'll be able to recruit the new coastal units as soon as they come up. So that's it for this turn right there. On the second turn we have a battle in Hergendorf. Again, those light infantries and militias should not be a problem at all for our expansion army. We have quite a considerable force, and those independents are not equipped to deal with ethereal units. As you can see, they'll quickly be routed in no time. That's a win. Next up is the battle with our pretender in the deep blue. I wish I could bring in the sound effects on it as well, but I can't. So here we go. Our pretender is using skeletal body, quicken self, and ice shield, and did a quick work of those independents, which couldn't do much. We are going to claim this province because we're going to claim the throne. Now, one important fact about thrones is that they can only be claimed by either your pretender god / disciple or a priest with at least level 3 in Holy. Here we are transferring back the units to our commander. Just adding some random province defense to the newly conquered provinces. So it's always good to add one province defense so that the enemy can just use a scout to take over your provinces, or also to be able to see which enemy forces are attacking you as they all go into a battle, and you'll be able to get the full information of the enemy. Moreover, as we look over here, we have finally found Callum. I have no clue if I'm spelling it correctly, but Callum are basically flying people specialized in air magic. Usually when you play Callum, you'll be expecting Eagle Kings, and they'll be dropping lightning strikes, which is a really strong battle evocation spell. Moreover, Pelagia in the sea is going to be attacking us pretty soon. I can already see it coming. And as we mentioned before, me taking the province next to their capital will most likely make them pretty pissed at us. And a harmful dominion like ours doesn't help it at all. We're just scouting around for Elm. I also decide that we still need to keep on focusing on enchantment. Thanks to the big amount of earth gems that we have, we'll try to get Enliven Goggles, which will hopefully be able to make us go into a middle game. As we keep on going, our income is slowly going down, and at one point we won't be able to conquer enough independence. Will simply be no more independence, and then we'll start losing income very slowly. For the next turn, we have claimed the throne, and on top of it, in deep blue, a seer has come to advise the one who sits upon the throne of the deeps. He prophesies the downfall of those who blah 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 blah. Anyways, that means we just got a new commander. In Merfolk we got more water gems. The new commander is a really interesting one. It's a deep seer with 3 water and 2 astral and 1 holy, but because of a random event he goes another level in holy, which makes him a 2 holy priest. He's gonna be mostly very useful for us, as he will help us branch out into astral. We're gonna use it as part of our side searching team. Secondly, we need to start building a laboratory and a temple for the new fortress, the coastal fortress. At first, on this turn, if I'm not mistaken, I decided to go for a laboratory, thinking that if I build a temple, it might incite Elm to attack us. And then shortly afterwards, I retracted the order to recruit a Hecatoride, which is the other mage in our capital, to create a site searching team. Site searching is pretty important. Doing it manually with your mages permits you to open a path that, for example, if I didn't have an income in death, I'll need a mage with death to find death sites, which will then make me be able to use the remote site searching spell. We're getting pretty late. We're already in fall. We're already in spring and in year 2. We are sending our scouts around to keep on scouting. If I'm not mistaken, the only player missing right now is Malverni. And now we'll watch the battle in Omia. And from the battle report, it was a pretty easy one already. Yeah, it was pretty easy actually. This was no problem for our main force once more. I was still focusing on enchantment. Should be getting the level 4 in about 4 turns. And here's when I realized that Elm has taken the Amazon province that we wanted to take, which is kind of sad, to be honest. and then I decided to remove a few more curators and actually start building a temple, because next turn we should be building a laboratory, so that when the fortress has been built we'll be able to recruit mages right out of the box. And that's it for this turn. For the next turn, it seems that Ulysses has found his sunken galley, which gives us 1 death gem. Death gems are going to be pretty handy for us because we need to summon Ethos and spectral philosophers as we keep on going. Moreover, it's always good to search a thrown province. One reason is that thrown provinces always have a higher chance that there's actually a magic site there. We're gonna send the Deep Seer back into the capital to meet up with the site searching team, and we're gonna keep sending our pretender to site search other neighboring sea provinces. Secondly, we're gonna send most of our units to this fortress, but where the fortress is going to be built, we're building our lab. We want to go in and get the throne because well, that's what we should do right now. Try to head for the thrones. It's better than going for a total annihilation, at least for the time being. But aside from that, there's nothing much that's gonna happen during this turn. If I remember correctly, I'm deciding to move in. No, I'm thinking of moving in the Prophet to have an easy takeover of the throne. And here we are off to the next turn. Not really interesting events going on right now. Misfortune, Demon Ball. So that was a pretty meh turn for the random events. As you can see, our coastal fort is finally built. Now the cool thing inside the coastal fort is that we get a whole new array of units that we didn't have before. One of them is the Caberos. The cool thing about them is that they have a forge bonus. Right now I'm showing the magical skills, but the most important part is actually the forge bonus. One reason is that if you give them a dwarven hammer and it stacks with a forge bonus, you can build stuff such as quills for only 2 air gems compared to 5. Therefore you'll be able to equip most of it to your researchers and get a good boost in research power. And finally, for the recruitable, most of them in my opinion are not really viable except for the archers. The archers are pretty handy. They are handy units, as well, range units help you kill units easier compared to melee. We're gonna send in the scout that was building the fort towards Ulm to give us a bit more information, transfer our forces back to the main army, and we're gonna head off to the Throne Province. And one second thing that we need to do is we need to set up the site searching team. I should be doing it right now. Let's see, the Deep Seer, the Hecaterite, and one more Dactyl will be going to site search for us. Yeah, I think I'm deciding which Dactyl I'm gonna send. And I'm gonna send them to the South Province, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. One important thing when you make a site searching team is that you should put everyone to the rearmost of the battlefield and give them the orders to retreat. This is done in case that an enemy attacks this province while you're site searching or a random event happens. You want your site searchers to be safe because they cost you money. In that way they retreat directly. As for a pretender, we'll set him on more site searching. As you can see with the amount of earth gems that we have right now, and Live and Goggle will be a very handy spell for us to, in a way, convert magic gems into units. Because mid-game and late game is mostly about those things. During early game you convert your gold and resources into units to help you expand, but towards the mid-game you get stronger units by converting your magic gems, and for the case of Therodos, since we don't have a lot of gold, we'll need to do that. And that's it for this turn. Let's see. This is an example of the random events that happen when you play. Well, actually, they can happen all the time. It's just that playing luck will increase the percentage of chance that this happens. Right now, we got 68 gold. Usually, you can get at best 3,000 gold, but in averaging around 500, 490 gold. What you should know is that this is fixed income, which means that it doesn't depend on any other skill, nor the population or whatsoever. So that's very handy for us. The other event was magic gems. And Ulysses found a magic site called Here of the Ancients that gives us 1 water and 1 astral gem. That's going to be really handy. Next thing is that I'll be sending Ulysses to the North Province to site search a bit more. During that time, our site searching team will be site searching again. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm recruiting more Caberos to hopefully get somewhat battle mages. For example, the Earth and Fire ones can spam Magma Bolt. The ones with 2 Earth will be able to cause a few battle enchantments and blade winds. As you can see, we don't have a lot of land left between us and Ulm, so we're gonna head straight to the Throne Province and hopefully claim it for ours. And during that time, as I'm scouting, our main concerns will most likely be Marverni, Ulm, and Pelagia. Pelagia, most likely because we took the province right next to the capital, and with our dominion and also that we're in the sea, that will motivate them to attack us. As for Marverni and Ulm, I'm not sure when they'll decide to declare war on us, but it might be imminent at any point in time. Whereas for Lanka and Callum, they are far away from us to not really have to care about them at the moment. One important fact is that I'm moving the Prophet on top of the army. Well, I mean, I'm moving the Prophet towards the throne to be able to claim it. And that should be it for this turn. Setting the Prophet to retreat just in case. I don't want my Prophet to die. And for this turn, we have finally found the magic site that I was talking about. It's the Sacred Land, which is a nature magic site. Now, the reason why our other commander wasn't able to find it is most likely that it required either a nature skill of 2 or 3 or 4, which the Hecaterite has, so she's been able to find it. Which is why it's to make sure you find the spells, you'll use remote site searching spells, but before you get the gems to do that, it's always good to do a manual site search. And if I'm not mistaken, there's nothing over level 4 for the magic paths to find the magic sites. Let's watch the battle at the Throne Province in Ancient Woods. The battle was fairly easy. We have Gauls and Long Deads. It shouldn't be much of a problem with our army. The hard part would be if we had sorcerers spamming animate skeletons. That might have been quite hard for us to take it, but as you can see, we took it no problem. On top of it, it was a really good call because Ulm also decided to attack Ancient Woods, but we got lucky enough for our battle to happen before. And this is not an act of war, like Ulm will not go on war with us, it was most likely a miscoordination, is how the AI sees it. So there we go, we'll do an easy job of Ulm's forces. One advantage that we have over them is that they have a low magic resistance. And as you can see through the weapon stats, if the defender successfully resists the magic, I forgot how exactly it's calculated, they don't receive any damage from the spectral weapons of our units. But since Ulm has quite a low magic resistance, we took it no problem. And that's one other example of another gold event. We found a troll and we banned him. And out of this, we got 960 gold and a braces of protection to give to Ulysses. Hopefully, we'll be able to turn Ulysses into a super commander. I'll just keep on going. What was I checking? I was checking Callum. Callum seems to be isolated between Lanka and Ulm, so we'll most likely be leaving us alone. I'm moving the prophet into the foreign province to be able to claim it. Set the commander on patrol. And I think in this turn I decided, but it's time to try to get the other throne. This throne is really handy because you get the Mage of Summer, which has fire magic and will hopefully lead us to getting flame arrows in the future. Since we already have enchantment 4 because we're heading towards enchantment 5, we'll automatically unlock flame arrows for our archers to use and be a bit more of a threat. And yeah, we're definitely heading for that throne province, just reorganizing a bit, setting armies to the commanders, researching, checking out the scouts and sending there to the left and to the right. And that should be it. Like anything of note for this turn, we'll be ending this turn very soon. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry if this let's play was a bit clunky because I don't usually do voiceovers. But like and subscribe and comment if you like the content, and see you soon for part 5.